Welcome to Breaking Solo, how solopreneurs break barriers, build brands, and embrace the future of business.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the podcast and welcome Annabelen as our guest today. Thank you so much for joining me. Tell the audience who you are, what you do.
All right. First of all, thank you, Donna, for having me on the podcast. I'm really excited to be here. So I am Annabelen, and I am the owner of AB Night Design and Energy Partners, two companies. And I transform manufacturing companies from reactive to predictable by implementing AI-powered solutions to automatically capture, nurture, and convert prospects into paying customers. I'm also the creator of Spark AI and Sales Kindle, which are innovative AI platforms that are basically great for businesses to save time, boost growth, and enhance visibility.
Nice.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me, or tell our audience, what inspired you to go solo in the business?
Okay. So I was in the corporate world for a little bit in my past life, which was being an engineer. And I just felt like my contributions were just not very good. And I really wanted to make an impact, right? So I knew that going solo would make a real big, huge impact, at least more than if I was just a cog in the wheel. So that's one of the things that pushed me towards going solo. And also, I didn't like working for somebody else. So that's the other thing.
Me either. I hate being told what to do by somebody else.
Exactly. I want to do what I want to do when I do it.
Yeah, exactly. So what's been the biggest challenge then, and how have you overcome it?
So being an entrepreneur, my biggest challenge is that I have a lot of paradigms in my head and that I need to break free of. And honestly, I just realized that the only true obstacle for me being successful is me. So that was, I know, like, but that's a good thing because I know now I can fix it. That and I'm trying to be everything to everybody was the other thing. So those were the two things that challenged me and still challenge me to this day because I want to be able to do everything, but I have to be very specific. And I think that helps people understand what it is I do.
That's a good thing. Glad you figured that out.
I know. It's been a long, long lesson.
So, what's the strategy you use to stand out from the competition?
So my biggest thing right now is to, like I said, be more specific. It's like I want to really try to put myself in the shoes of my customer and really try to create solutions that really work for them. And again, trying not to like overwhelm them with all the things that I can do because sometimes I do that. I can overwhelm, and it's one of the things that I've now decided that it's my strong suit is to just put myself in their shoes and really help them understand how all the tools and then figure out what it is best for them.
Awesome. And so, do you do that through a consulting process? How do you figure out what they really need?
It's through consulting for sure. And interesting, I was going to talk about it later, but I am launching an audit tool that's going to help kind of like walk them through exactly the steps to find out what is missing, where are their holes, what's their gaps, and kind of help them in that fashion to figure out what it is they're missing. And it's kind of really good because it makes it puts it in their hands. Like they run through this test or this assessment, and then they realize while they're answering the questions, how much that they're having, how much holes they have, right? And it's now not me telling them, it's them realizing it on their own, which is really, really powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. Good luck with that. When are you going to launch it? I'm sure you're going to tell me that later, but
No, it's all right. My goal is that one. I want to launch probably end of month or beginning of July.
Awesome. Okay, so I know your answer is going to be to this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. What industry trends do you think solopreneurs should be paying attention to?
All right. So obviously, I am an AI junkie. I do everything AI, and at the end of the day, AI has reached a point where it's accessible and practical for everyone. So you either leverage it or your competitors are going to leverage it and you're not going to be here. So that is the biggest thing you're going to do. The second thing I've noticed too is that there's a skills gap that's forcing automation everywhere. I just read a quote where it said 67% of manufacturers report skills gap, where they're finally having to automate these processes where they used to do it manually because they don't have those skills anymore. So they have no choice but to fill those skill gaps with automation.
Wow.
And the very last thing is that buyers are doing 70% of their research before they ever talk to a salesperson. So all companies need to be found and engaged during that research phase, not after, right? So with AI, it's not just SEO anymore. You have to be present everywhere, and you have to be very clear that your brand is consistent all across all the platforms, or else AI is not going to recommend you because they're going to be like, oh, well, they don't know what they're talking about, so we're not going to recommend them. So you really just have to be very ultra clear, and content, as always, has always been king, but it's now more important to be everywhere with your content.
Yeah, so I read the other day that SEO just for Google is no longer what you need. You need SEO because people are searching AI,
Everywhere. Yeah.
find what they want or need. And if you're not one of the resources that's shared, you're going to get left behind.
You're totally going to get left behind. Absolutely. Yep. So it's definitely happening. It's a happening.
It is. So I had a lady on the podcast the other day, and she said, a lot of the business owners she works with, or, the clients that she works with, they're worried that AI is going to take their job. And she said, AI is not going to take your job. What's going to take your job is the person that knows how to use it.
Yes.
And while you're not attempting it, that's where you're going to lose that's how you're going to lose your job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's kind of like back in the day when you thought about the internet and everyone's like, I don't need to be on the internet. Well, if you weren't on the internet, all of a sudden you had no presence. It's the same thing. If you don't use AI, you're not going to be here. You just can't compete because they're doing things so much faster, more efficient, smarter. I mean, there's just so much to it.
Yeah, for sure. I just found an AI tool that builds apps. It does all of the coding.
Yes.
All of the coding.
All of it.
Yeah.
I know. I use 4 of them right now.
Is that
and
right?
I leverage all 4. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. It's amazing.
Okay. Do you think there's any trends other than what we've just discussed that solopreneurs should be aware of?
Really, it's basically all those trends. I know in terms of AI in general, it was more of agentic AIs was kind of the buzzword for a while. But now, like you said, because there's mobile apps, there's so many things that are coming out. It's about how do you integrate all of it together, right? You can't just, it's not even like knowing AI as like a generative AI and you're just answering questions. You have to know all kinds of things. There's so many tools out there, but because there's so many tools, there's so many things you can use that work together, that help, that complement one another. So it's like trying to be on top of everything and trying to find those solutions that actually help your customer or yourself, right? It could be either or, but definitely those are the things that's going to happen. And you just have to be able to pivot. Oh, that was what I was going to say. You want to have to be able to, in this day and age, everything is about speed. Get it out there and test it. And if it doesn't work, pivot, find another solution. So it's like keeping us very nimble nowadays.
Yeah, for sure. So how do you stay ahead of the trends?
I literally learn every day. Try a new tool out there. I have, my Google thing that comes in every morning to tell me what's happening. I subscribe to and follow many people, and I'm just constantly trying to learn from the masses. And obviously, I have a lot of masterminds as well, which I think is a very important tool, is to surround yourself with people because you're never going to learn everything, right? So you want to be able to mastermind and work with a community that's always helping one another, so that everybody's growing.
That's awesome. Yeah. Okay. What daily habits or routines help to keep you focused and productive?
My biggest one is my morning routine. I have a morning routine where I'm in the scriptures in the morning, and then I listen and learn, at least 20 minutes of just what's up, what's happening. I have a mentor, one of my mentors, that I listen to one of her podcasts or something like that. And then I also read and then journal. I journal, I write affirmations, I write my money declaration, I write all those things. It just gets you started right in the day, gets your mind process going. So yeah, I do that. And then you know what I'm also starting? I just created a soundtrack that I'm going to listen to that has the actual like words in my money declaration in the background, so I can subliminally listen to it. I'm like listening to everything. So
That's smart.
I just want to get it in my head.
And embrace it.
Embrace it 100%. You have to embrace.
Okay, so I know the answer to this as well, but I'm still going to ask it. What's one tool, app, or resource you absolutely can't live without?
Well, obviously, I have my tools. I have the Spark AI, which is an AI content creator, and then I have Sales Kindle, which is my AI email outreach, and I use those every day, all the time. I'm in it, checking my email or whatever. But then I literally am always looking for how to implement, like I said, all the other AIs into my process as well. So I like I play around, and depending on, I have my own ask like chat GPT inside my program, but then sometimes I want to do more deep research. I may go to Perplexity. I've been playing with Manus, which is very good as well. I've been using Claude for copywriting. So yeah, I'm a very big, what do you say? I'm agnostic sometimes. Not that I don't use all my tools, but what I do is I use all those tools to make my tools even better. So there you go.
There you go. Good answer. Okay, so what's something that you know now that you wish you'd known when you got started?
The biggest thing I wish I knew, literally, this is just a new epiphany for me. Again, I keep on saying that I was trying to be everything to everyone, and specificity is your superpower. And I just wish, I mean, I even remember people telling me that, niche down and all that stuff. But honestly, you can't really get really good unless you really focus your message to a few things or one thing, like I'm lead generation and follow up. That's it. And whatever it takes to get there, that's what I'll do. I'll use all my tools to do that. But it's not what I want to be known for, lead gen and lead follow up. So it just takes a while to get there. But I wish I knew it sooner.
But you know it now, so that's good.
I know it now. Exactly.
So, do you have one piece of advice that you'd give other solopreneurs, someone that is thinking about doing the solopreneur journey?
I think the biggest thing as a solopreneur, there's two things. One, you really want to have grace as you do this journey, because there's going to be roadblocks, there's going to be things that come in your way, and your paradigm. Especially if you were a corporate person, you did things a different way than being an entrepreneur. So you have to really think about that and just have grace on yourself, and also know that it is a journey. It is a true journey. It is not a get rich quick. And I'm telling you right now, you're definitely going to have issues that you'll be like, why did I leave corporate America and the security sometimes, right? So you just have to make sure you have a really good understanding of what you're doing and have that passion, whatever that passion is, because that's going to fuel you. What they say, your why or whatever, that's going to fuel you through the ups and the downs, mostly the downs.
Well, I think it fuels you through both because
Correct.
it keeps you energized to keep taking action, but it also can pick you up when you fall down.
Correct. You are right. For sure, for sure.
Okay. Do you have you already told us one of any exciting projects or launches coming up soon?
So I told you about my one tool that's going to assess. I am putting out a book. I swear it's going to get finished this year. And it's about the fear of AI. And it's going to follow 3 different characters through that process of understanding the fear and how they break through and how they kind of changed. Like I said, it's always about mindset and paradigm, but how they actually evolved their thinking through this whole AI generation change. Um, and then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm developing also custom AI powered training applications that do 2 things. They help managing manufacturing teams manage leads with precision and to use their managed production schedules. And then I'm going to they use these AI powered training applications to create intelligent assessments that automatically identify skill gaps and deliver personalized training to get teams up to speed faster. So those are my 3 things that are going to get up and running in a bit.
You and that engineering brain. I don't know how you think of all those things. So I have one question. Is your book going to be like a parable? Are you going to?
Yeah, it is going to be like a parable. I didn't think it was going to be. It's just kind of working its way that way. I don't know. It's most likely going to be more of a parable, like a journey kind of thing, versus more of a like a help kind of book. I may have some tools in there too.
But that's kind of good. I think people, when you tell a story, people can
Identify and relate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And embrace the lesson behind that story.
Correct. Correct. And because I'm reading 2 books, I've been reading the one, what's it called? The One Thing from, I have it written down somewhere here. What did I say? Oh, here it is. The One Thing by Gary Keller and How to Build a Story Brand by Donald Miller. So those 2 things right there. And I think that was what really just was like, I have got to just focus on what I really want to talk about and do. And that's because of those books.
Good. Both good books, I should say.
Yes. Very, very good books.
Yeah. All right. Tell the audience where they can connect with you and where they can learn more about you.
Sure, sure. So I am at ignitedesignonline.com and I will be giving Donna all my links, but I'm obviously on social media as well, Facebook, Instagram. I have a YouTube channel called Ignite AI Growth and Threads, LinkedIn. You can get me all of those places. I have to do what I preach, so I got to be everywhere as well.
There you go. And all of her links will be in the show notes, so you don't have to try to write them down, remember.
Yeah.
All
There's
right.
many.
It was a pleasure having you here today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate it. And we'll talk soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much again, Donna, for having me on the show.
Thank you.
All right.